Today we're gonna talk about how to get that perfect YouTube studio. Right now we are in my YouTube studio, which is also my back of my office. There's a few key ingredients in having that perfect YouTube studio. First of all, you gotta make sure you have consistent lighting, perfect sound, and it's gotta be easy. It's gotta be ready to go at any given time. You gotta be able to film when you are ready to film, and nothing should be holding you back. Lastly, your environment is gonna have to represent you. So those are the things I wanna dive into today and talk about what got me to where I'm at right now, to this studio, this setup. Now yours is not gonna look like this. You're gonna be doing something completely different. Even if you talk about cameras, drones, and all those other things, yours doesn't have to look like this. This is my version of what I do, so take bits and pieces of this to make your own studio perfect for you. First of all, lighting. When I first entered this loft space here in downtown Dallas, I was doing a lot of my videos in the front of my office because I have these amazing, huge, perfect windows and that natural, beautiful lighting. The issue is every time I'd film, it was usually around 4, 5, 6 or towards the end of the night. And you can see consistently it was getting darker in my film, and I kept having to bump up my ISO as I was filming, and it just wasn't easy in terms of editing, filming. It just made everything a lot harder. If I had like maybe a perfect time where I'd be filming, even if I filmed in the middle of the day, the cloud coverage as it went over kept changing my light. Even after I put lights up front, it still couldn't stay consistent. Reason is you cannot compete with God and the power of sun, so don't try. Now I'm in the back corner office now because in the front, like I was talking about, the lighting was inconsistent. Back here, the lighting is super consistent. I have LED lighting behind me, kind of giving me some backlight. I only have 2 lights kind of on me, really only 1 light on me, but it's the right kind of light because it's one of those flat pancake ring lights that shine the light inwards instead of down at you, so it doesn't create these harsh shadows. Having these 2 kind of lights that you see above me make things very easy when it comes to editing because you don't have to worry about getting it perfect. But the point is that the lighting is always there. In fact, I hit 1 button, it's actually on my phone right here. The thing is, the lighting is always there, and it really just takes 1 button that I hit that turns it on, and boom, boom, and it's on, and you're ready to film. It's that easy, and it's gotta be that easy for you as well. Now, it might not be these lights, but you know, these lights back here behind me, they're like $17 for a string of lights of maybe 20, 30 feet. So you can do affordable options. So first I want to talk about my environment here behind me, and then I'll talk about the rest of my setup here in the office. What we do here at Neon Cloud, I have a production company, Neon Cloud Productions. Outside of making these videos for you, I run a production company. So since I'm always talking about cameras, right behind me, we have a lot of cameras, a lot of drones, boosted boards, whatever you may have, be behind me, a lot of fun stuff. We can Nerf guns, really don't have much to do with what I do, but it's fun, right? This is a typical YouTube thing, I guess, that you have behind you. So we have some SONYs, some CANONs, we got the GoPros over here, and yeah, those are all GoPros, some other lenses, more lenses, drones, and what are these? What are those called? The Blackmagic? The Blackmagic, yeah, the Blackmagic 6K, the pocket cameras. So these things behind me kind of represent me and what we do, what I talk about. So this is kind of like, the belief factor. A lot of people get on YouTube and they talk about cameras and they know a lot of stuff. Behind them might be something, whatever you're talking about doesn't represent what you're talking about. It might be, if you're talking about cats on YouTube, then you want to have cats behind you on YouTube, or pictures of cats, or something to build some of that knowledge. If you want to talk about wisdom, maybe have a little library behind you. Behind me, obviously, I cannot BS what I'm talking about when I'm talking to you about cameras, making videos, because if I am BSing, then I am a very good BSer, because this stuff, it's not cheap, and just to fake this long, that would be very difficult. So obviously, there's some belief behind me. So many times I see YouTubers that actually do know what they're talking about, and the environment just doesn't represent what they're talking about. And that kind of, as a storyteller, that confuses me that they can't get the back part right. The one thing I learned about my YouTube studio is that it's always changing. This is probably my 10th version of this particular office. I never get there, I never arrive, because I'm always making it better for me, better for the environment, better for speed, better for lighting. And in fact, I gotta change it one more time. I wanna change this wall, put this wall over on this wall, and this wall over here. Because usually I'm pointing the camera this way, and then you can see all the cameras behind it. That would be better for my subject matter and my audience. In fact, speaking of my outfit today, new merch below, it should be available right below this. Create, upload, repeat. That's how you get better at everyday video making. The next thing we need to talk about to have the best YouTube studio is audio. Audio is so key in having good videos, and there's so many different ways to do it, and so many things I'm gonna talk about you might not think about, but audio is super duper key. Now, I've been in sound rooms that cost $1 million, like these very crazy things that most of us didn't know existed, but I don't have $1 million to spend. But you still want good quality sound, and the way that I do it and the way I've done it is, first of all, I started with a shotgun microphone, a microphone that is directional. It's pointing right at me. It's a little far now, and you can hear the sound is not perfect, because if we're listening to it right now, this is how I sound on the shotgun microphone. Earlier, I had a lav mic on, but because I cannot stand them, I took it off for the second segment of what we're talking about. Of course, for the audio segment, I took that off, but this is kind of what it sounded like. It's gotta be easy. It's gotta be ready to go at any given time. You gotta be able to film when you are ready to film. Again, the main point with this whole part, this whole section of how to get that best YouTube studio is having everything set up, ready to go, or maybe folded somewhere where you just have to do less to be able to get going. In my case, I'm always using this boom mic, which is right above me. I'll be honest, it's a good mic, but you don't have to start with this microphone, and I didn't start with this microphone because it's expensive. The best microphone and the one I prefer the most, especially for my situation, is going to be the boom mic, the one you're hearing right now. In fact, over here you'll see I have the recording device already set up. It is there, it is on, just click a button and then boom, I got microphone perfectly positioned for all my speaking that I do in this room. I am not an audio guy by no means at all, but I know enough to be deadly. But you think about it, like again, experience-wise, I have had so many different microphones, so many different shotgun mics, and the one thing you gotta understand about audio is the better audio is when you get the microphone closest to the source. No matter how expensive it is, the closer it is to the source, the less interference of other noises that you'll hear. Understand that when you're choosing your shotgun mic, not all shotgun mics are the same. And what I mean by that is how far is their spread and what they're listening to. So some of them might be maybe a 45-degree spread. I don't know what that looks like, but let's just say it like this. This microphone up here is a more refined spread. So it's about a 30-some-ish degree spread, I know. So it's a lot more directional. So if I step out of the microphone, then it's not gonna sound near as good because I'm farther away. But other microphones would still pick it up very nicely. But the thing about this microphone, it is very, very good and precise. I would get out one of my older boom mics, but honestly, it's not even fun comparing with it because this thing is so much better. Mainly I use the shotgun mic for reference because then it will be able to sync better when you're snapping in the beginning of your film, and that's really what I use it for. When I'm running gun, I use it all the time. Outside, that sucker's amazing. Anything is better than the regular camera microphone, which is always horrible. Now, when I first moved into this place is all hard floors. Well, in fact, actually, it was really nasty carpet, and then I made it in really nice hard floors, and then you have hard walls. So what I did is, in a very affordable way, I bought these really nice curtains. They're curtains from Amazon.com, and I'll link all this stuff below to be able to deaden the sound, and it makes it so much better. Without these curtains, I could possibly not have good sound. It was actually horrific sound. So the sound curtains, or at least that's what I'm calling them, and they're not professional sound curtains, they're professional sleeping curtains so you can sleep better, but they're very, very thick. They have some texture to them, and I got ones that are much longer than what I needed so I could have some nice waves to be able to really bounce that sound in a way where it's gonna make the reverb stop. So it is the affordable way to have good sound. The next thing I'm gonna talk about is my setup on my desk and my camera, where it is positioned and why I set it up like this. And again, if you follow these steps in your own way, you could also have your own best YouTube studio in your own house, wherever it is, your basement, doesn't matter where it is, but just pay attention to some of these key elements. First of all, my camera is there. It's always set up. It's ready to go at any time. In fact, a lot of what I do with my YouTube channel is I'm talking about stuff. I'm talking about things. Usually I could pull this out. I can be ready to go. I would remove this and my mouse. In just a few seconds, I would turn off this light, which is really just for aesthetics. I would turn that light off, and now, look at this, just really, really quick. I don't have that light shining in my glasses because I can't see without glasses, unfortunately. And boom, I am ready to go talk about whatever I want to talk about. In fact, let me get something here. When I'm ready to reveal new products, things that I get in, I could just boom, within 5 minutes. I mean, I did that in a few seconds. I'm ready to rock. And what it comes down to is having your camera positioned in the right place, ready to go at all times. In fact, if you have one camera, that's where you should store it, in that place where you can do your YouTube videos and it can be quick and consistent. The next thing I want to talk about is this desk setup. This desk is actually from Home Depot. It's Husky. It's one of those desks that can go up or down, but I will leave it up because that's where it always is. So I have 7 desks out there, and those are custom made desks, especially for me. I have one out there that's actually my desk, and it was amazing. However, I wanted to switch because it was too big. They're a little hard to move. These ones have really nice wheels on them so you can move them around. Now, what I was suffering with my setup before is everything was on my desk. So when I wanted to make a YouTube video, I had to take everything off of my desk. So this desk is strictly for typing, working, and looking at products and doing YouTube videos, and that's what it's for, nothing else. Nothing is to be on this desk. Also, it has drawers, you know, when you want to get some reading on or whatever you're doing, it has drawers, which is really nice to be able to throw things in there if you had to. If you're a hot mess, you could just put everything in there, and it's cleaned up really quick. When I'm working through the day, I sometimes work right there. I sometimes work out here. I might move around just a little bit. Basically, the nice thing is this thing can move, and nothing is attached to this particular desk. Nothing is holding me to the wall, which it was before when I had my prior desk. Everything was on here, computer, speakers, and again, it was just like a nightmare every time you wanted to make a video. So that is why I come up with this desk. Now let me move this out of the way so we can talk about my setup here. Okay, here I have just some of the bare essentials of a ridiculous human being. I have my laptop down here. That's what I use right now to do a lot of my editing. Been waiting for the Mac Pro to come out forever. Now that it's out, I don't know if I want to buy one because it's working just fine. I have my JBLs. These are pretty decent speakers that, I mean, they are really good, I guess. You know, speakers for monitoring. Again, not an audio guy, but it's really nice to have some really crystal clear sound. Point is that it's really neat, and nothing is attached to this desk that I can pull out and to do my thing. That is the key point. And then down here we have Promise Pegasus hard drives. These are redundant rated hard drives. They're like the best thing that money can buy, at least my money can buy. But you know, this thing here is 80 terabytes, and we have 3 of these little guys down here. You have to think of how can I apply this to my road in my house, in my basement, or wherever you're doing these things. How can you make it easier to not make excuses is what you should be looking for. Another neat thing to mention too is these lights. They can move on these big poles here, and I will link everything in the description. They are movable, which really makes it easy if you need to readjust your lights slightly. The whole purpose of me making this video, and what I really want you to see, is that you might be in your same scenario where you want to make the best YouTube studio you possibly can with your environment, with your current, whatever you have, your cameras, your lighting. But the point is having it ready to go. That is how you have the best studio, is having one that eliminates excuses, eliminates reasons that you cannot film, and makes it easier from the time you want to get creative and the time you could turn that camera on and start talking to it. I wish a long time ago that somebody made this video for me so I could have saved thousands of hours and a lot of money trying to figure this out. In the link below, I'm going to list all the things that I talked about in here. I'm not going to list everything in here because that would take too long, but I'm going to list the things that help make this studio an effective studio so you can have a more consistent approach to making videos, so you can create more, upload more, and then repeat it over and over again until you are where you want to be. Hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you guys the next time.